everyone, this is Gayatri. Welcome back to BioSchool. In the last part of digestive system, we have discussed about parts of digestive system and the process of digestion in mouth and stomach. Today we are going to discuss about how digestion takes place in small intestine and the role of large intestine in the process of digestion, as well as previous year CSIR UGC NET questions. So please be stay tuned. Hello friends, hope you all are doing well. The first part of digestive system was about digestion in mouth and stomach. I have given the link in the description box. Today we are going to discuss how digestion takes place in small intestine and large intestine. So here we start. Chemical digestion in small intestine, it depends on the activities of pancreas, liver and gallbladder. So let's have a look on the pancreas. Pancreas is synthesize the pancreatic juice which contain water, some salts, sodium bicarbonate and several enzymes. Important thing is that you have to remember that sodium bicarbonate, it gives the pancreatic juice a alkaline pH. Okay, alkaline pH. And this alkaline pH, it buffers the gastric juice which is present in the stomach and stop the action of pepsin from stomach. Okay, the pepsin, it will active in acidic pH, not in the alkaline pH. And the intestine, the alkaline pH, it is maintained by the bicarbonate, sodium bicarbonate ion, is secreted by the pancreas. Okay, and the enzyme of pancreatic juice that include the pancreatic amylase, it will help in the digestion of carbohydrate. Similarly, some enzymes which help in the digestion of proteins are known as the trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, elastase. It also contains the pancreatic lipase which will be help in the splitting of triglyceride. Besides that, pancreas contain the enzyme which also help in the digestion of ribonucleic acid and deoxyribonucleic acid. That enzyme are known as the ribonuclease and deoxyribonuclease. We are going to discuss in details about it in the chemical digestion of small intestine. Okay, so this is the structure of the pancreas. As I told you that the pancreas is secretes the different enzymes, like mostly the enzymes which help in the digestion of the proteins that are inactive form. Okay, that are present in inactive form. But when those enzymes come in contact with the intestinal lumen, okay, in intestinal lumen, enterokinase is present that help in converting those inactive enzymes into the active forms. Okay, so in the pancreatic there is the present the enzyme that is known as the trypsinogen. Trypsinogen, when come in contact with the enterokinase in small intestine, then it will form the trypsin. Trypsin is the active form which will degrade the protein. After the formation of this trypsin, it will convert the inactive chymotrypsinogen into active form, that is known as the chymotrypsin. Similarly, it also helps in converting the procarboxypeptidase into carboxypeptidase. Okay. Now comes to the liver and gallbladder. We know that liver is the heaviest gland of the body. Okay, and gallbladder, it is a pear-shaped sac-like structure. This one is the gallbladder, pear-like sac-like structure located in a depression of the posterior surface of the liver. Okay, and we all know that what are the function of liver and gallbladder. The function of liver are the hepatocytes. They secrete the bile. They will help in secretion of bile. Okay, and the bile, it is required for the emulsification of fat molecule. Emulsification means the breakdown of large fat molecule into smaller molecule. We are going to discuss in detail about it. And this bile, it has the pH 7.6 to 8.6 and consists of water molecule, bile salts, cholesterol, and phospholipid called as the lecithin, and bile pigments like bilirubin, bilirubiridine, etc. Then what is the function of gallbladder? Then the function of gallbladder is to storage the bile. Then next part is the small intestine. The small intestine, most digestion and absorption of nutrient occurs in small intestine. Okay. Then what is the mechanical digestion takes place in small intestine? Okay, there are the two type of mechanical digestion. Mechanical digestion means physical breakdown of food. The first one is the segmentation, and second one is migrating motility. Segmentation, what is segmentation? Segmentation is the contraction that takes place in the portion of intestine when it is fueled by the volume of chyme. Okay, so after the food that enters from the stomach to the intestine by pyloric sphincter, then what will happen? Then there will be a mixing contraction, okay, and that mix the chyme with the digestive juice. And the second one is known as the peristalsis. Peristalsis is the process of contraction and the relaxation of muscle, and here in small intestine the peristalsis is known as the MMC, that is migrating motility complex. And it will be started in the lower portion of stomach and push the chyme forward into small intestine. Okay. Then now comes to chemical digestion. So basically the chymes entering the small intestine, it contains the partly digested carbohydrate, proteins and lipids, because some part of carbohydrate, protein and the lipids, they are digested in mouth and the stomach. So the complete digestion of carbohydrate, protein and lipid, it will be done by collective effort of pancreatic juice, bile and intestinal juice in small intestine. And how it takes place, let's have a look. First we will focus on the digestion of carbohydrate. Try to remember where the digestion of carbohydrate takes place. The first it will be started from mouth, because the mouth has salivary amylase enzyme. There will be no digestion of carbohydrate in the stomach because it has no enzyme for digestion of carbohydrate. Then again then the partially digested carbohydrate, it will be digested in the small intestine by the enzymes which are secreted by the pancreas and the intestine. Those are the pancreatic amylase, and the intestine it secretes the dextrinase, maltase, sucrase and lactase. So let's have a look how these enzymes works. The first, the pancreatic amylase, it is secreted by the pancreatic juice. It will cleave or the split the starch into disaccharides like maltose, or it is a maltriose, and a polymers of glucose molecules which are known as the dextrin. But it has no effect on polysaccharide that is known as the cellulose. It cannot break down the polysaccharide that is cellulose. Okay. Then the dextrin, which are the polymers of the glucose, the enzyme dextrinase, it will split one molecule of glucose at a time from dextrin. And the intestine, it contains the enzyme maltase. Maltase, it will help in breakdown of maltose into two molecules of glucose. Then the enzyme is the lactase. Lactase, it will break down the lactose into glucose and galactose. You have to remember that after the degradation of maltose, what will be formed? After the degradation of lactose, what will be formed? Okay. Then the sucrase, it break down the sucrose into glucose and fructose. So this is the complete diagram of carbohydrate digestion. Okay, so it will be help you to easily remember where the digestion takes place. The buccal cavity, we know that salivary amylase, it converts the starch into maltose. There is no carbohydrate digestion in stomach. Then the complete digestion of carbohydrate takes place in small intestine, where pancreatic amylase, it will cleave the starch to maltose. Then the maltose, it will convert the maltase, it convert the maltose to two molecules of glucose. Then the lactose, it will then the lactase, it convert the lactose into glucose and galactose. sucrase convert the sucrose into glucose and fructose. Okay. Now comes to digestion of proteins. Protein digestion, where it started? It started in the stomach by the action of pepsin. Then the enzyme of pancreatic juice, which are secreted in inactive form, like trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, and when these forms they come in contact with the lumen of the small intestine by enterokinase, they are get activated into trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase that will help in breakdown of protein into peptides. Okay, so the enzymes like trypsin, chymotrypsin and elastase, they cleave the peptide bond between specific amino acid and its neighbor. Carboxypeptidase. Carboxypeptidase, as its name indicates, it will split amino acid from the carboxyl end of peptide. And the protein digestion is completed by two peptidases. The one is known as the aminopeptidase. Aminopeptidase means like carboxypeptidase, it cleaves the amino acid from carboxyl end. Similarly, aminopeptidase, it will cleave the amino acid from amino terminal end. Okay. And the next one is the dipeptidase. Dipeptidase, it splits the dipeptides into single amino acids. You know what is the dipeptide? Dipeptide means two amino acids, they are joined by the peptide bonds. Okay, this diagram is reflect the total protein digestion. So protein digestion we know that it started from the stomach, so there is no protein digestion in buccal cavity. Okay, in the stomach what will happen? Chief cell, it will secrete the pepsinogen, then when it come in contact with the hydrochloric acid, it will be activated to form the pepsin. Then pepsin, it convert the protein into peptones and proteases. Then in the pancreas, it will create some enzymes like trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, procarboxypeptidase, which are the inactive form. When in the intestine, they come in contact with the enterokinase, the trypsinogen, it forms the trypsin. Then trypsin, it will convert the chymotrypsinogen to chymotrypsin, procarboxydase into carboxypeptidase. After the activation of these protein degrading enzymes, they will degrade the proteins into dipeptide. Then the dipeptidase, it will split the dipeptides to amino acids. Okay, and the last one is the digestion of lipids. Okay, mostly the digestion of lipids, it takes place by the enzyme is known as the lipase. And hope you have remembered that we have discussed about the three type of lipase. In the mouth, the lipase is known as the lingual lipase, that will help in the breakdown of triglycerides into fatty acid and diglycerides. Then the next one is the gastric lipase, which is present in the stomach. Okay, gastric lipase in the stomach, that also help in somehow the degradation of some amount of lipids. But mostly digestion of lipid takes place in the small intestine by enzyme known as the pancreatic lipase. Okay, so the pancreatic lipase, it degrades the triglycerides into fatty acid and monoglycerides. For the degradation of the lipid, what will happen? It first require the emulsification. Okay, emulsification. What is emulsification? Emulsification is a process by which large lipid globule broke down into small lipid globules by bile salts. Okay, here it is the role of bile salts, and bile salt, it is present in the bile, and this bile salt, it is an amphipathic molecule. So how it helps in the emulsification? As it is an amphipathic molecule, it has two ends, that is the hydrophobic end and hydrophilic end. That hydrophobic end, it binds with the lipid molecule, and the hydrophilic end, it binds to the chyme present in the interstitial fluid, and by binding, it helps in the breakdown of large lipid molecules into small molecules, which is known as the emulsification. So this is all about the fat digestion. Fat digestion starts in the buccal cavity by the lingual lipase, and some of the fat also digested in the stomach by gastric lipase. And in the small intestine, what will happen? The fat will be degraded, but before fat degraded, it undergo the process of emulsification. Okay, then the pancreatic lipase, it degrade the fat into diglycerides and monoglyceride. Then what will happen? The monoglyceride, it will form the fatty acid and glycerol. Okay. Then the digestion of nucleic acid, as I have told that pancreatic juice, it contains the enzymes like ribonuclease which help in the digestion of RNA, similarly deoxyribonuclease which digests the DNA molecule. Okay. So after the digestion of the molecule by this nuclease, then the nucleotide what will be formed, that again degraded by nucleosidase and the phosphatase to form the pentose, phosphates and nitrogenous bases. Last part of gastrointestinal tract is large intestine, and we know that in the large intestine there are only mechanical digestion of food takes place. There is no chemical digestion of food because there is no enzyme present in the large intestine for chemical breakdown of food material. So what are the mechanical digestion takes place in large intestine? Let's get discussed about that. The first one is known as the Hostra churning or contraction of Hostra. Hostra, it is the pouches of colon. Colon is the part of large intestine. Okay. So when the food from small intestine or the chyme from small intestine, it enters into the large intestine, okay, by ileocloacal sphincter, then what will happen? The Hostral churning, okay, or the contraction of Hostra, it will takes place. Then next one is the peristalsis. We know that the peristalsis is the contraction of muscle that will help in propelling the food material. And the third one is known as the mass peristalsis. Mass peristalsis is the large peristaltic movement that move the fecal materials into rectum. Okay. As the large intestine, they don't have any digestive enzyme, so there is no chemical digestion. Now comes to previous year CSIR UGC net question. Okay. A person showed the symptoms of diarrhea, gas and pain whenever milk was consumed. Okay. The doctor advised person to take curd instead of milk, and subsequently the symptom mostly disappeared due to this change of dairy product. The following statements are proposed to explain the observation. Okay. A person has some digestive problem when the person takes the milk, but he has no problem when he will take the curd. So what are the explanation or the correct explanation? The correct, so what do you guess? What do you guess? So what you guess? That the person has the lactose intolerance. Like the person lacks the lactase enzyme. Okay. So it's unable to break down the lactose present in the milk. Okay. The person deficiency in the intestinal sucrose maltose, no. Curd is not deficient of sucrose and maltose. There is no role of sucrose and maltose. It's all about the lactose. The person has deficiency in intestinal lactase. Yes, the person is lacking the intestinal lactase, and that's why when the person takes the milk, it cannot digest it. And the bacteria in curd contains lactase. Yes, the bacteria in curd contains the lactase, so that helps in the digestion process. So which of the following is true? The true is R and S. That is option D is the correct answer. Thank you for watching my video. Hope you got a clear-cut idea about the process of digestion system. In the second part, we are going to discuss about absorption of food materials, and that is very important in view of CSIR net, because you are going to get most question from absorption part. If you like this video, then please share and subscribe my channel.